Let me guess. You get paid, you pay your bills, you maybe put a little money into savings, and somehow at the end of every month, you're still thinking, where did all my money go? Because on paper, you're doing everything right. You're not reckless, you're not gambling, you're not buying Lamborghinis, and yet you still feel financially stuck. Look, if you've ever thought, I make decent money, but I don't feel rich at all, this video is literally about you. My name is Peter, and I spend way too much time thinking about why the middle class works harder than ever, but still struggles to build real wealth. If you're someone who earns money consistently but feels like financial freedom is always just out of reach, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today, we're talking about the single most important money rule the middle class never learns. And once you see it, you'll never look at your paycheck the same way again. The lie we're all taught. Here's the thing. From the time you're young, you're taught a very simple formula. Work hard, get a good job, earn more money, and you'll be financially secure. Sounds reasonable, right? Except it doesn't actually work. Because according to data from the Federal Reserve, over 60% of Americans can't cover a $1,000 emergency without borrowing money. That includes people making $75,000, $100,000, even $150,000 a year. So clearly, the problem isn't income alone. And this is where it gets really interesting. The rule the middle class never learns. The money rule the middle class never learns is this. Wealth is not built by how much you earn. It's built by what you don't let your lifestyle touch. Let that sink in. Most people think the path to wealth is make more money, then I'll start saving. But wealth actually works the opposite way. Protect money first, spend what's left. The middle class does this backward, and the moment income increases, expenses quietly rise to meet it. This isn't accidental, it's psychological. Lifestyle creep, the silent killer. There's a term for this, lifestyle creep. Here's what it looks like in real life. You get a raise from $60,000 to $75,000. You don't think, great, I'll invest the extra $15,000. Instead, you think, slightly nicer apartment, better car, more eating out, upgraded phone, more subscriptions. Nothing dramatic, just more comfort. And before you know it, that raise is gone. According to a Bureau of Labor Statistics report, households increase spending almost dollar for dollar with income growth, meaning most people don't get richer, they just get more expensive lives. The math that changes everything. Let's make this painfully clear with real numbers. Person A makes $60,000 a year, person B makes $100,000 a year. Person A saves 15%, person B saves 5%. Person A saves $9,000 a year, person B saves $5,000 a year. Now assume both invest that money at a 7% annual return. After 30 years, person A ends up with $900,000. Person B ends up with $500,000. The lower earner wins. Why? Because savings rate matters more than income. Here's what most people don't realize. Income feels powerful, but income is dependent on your job, your health, the economy, someone else's decisions. Savings and investments, though, those are assets you own. And yet, the middle class is trained to optimize income while ignoring protection. This is why a layoff feels catastrophic to most households. They don't have wealth, they have cash flow, and cash flow disappears fast. The psychological trap. Now you might be thinking, okay, Peter, but life is expensive. I can't just not spend money. Totally fair, but here's the psychological mistake most people make. They treat saving like a leftover. Whatever remains after life gets saved. But your brain doesn't work that way. According to behavioral economists, humans are loss averse, meaning once your lifestyle upgrades, cutting back feels like losing something, even if you never needed it. So the trick isn't discipline, it's automation and separation. The rule the middle class never learns in practice is this. Your future self must be paid before your present self gets comfortable. High-income earners who build wealth do one thing differently. They never let raises hit their lifestyle. Raise comes in, savings rate increases first. Lifestyle stays mostly the same. That gap between what you earn and what you live on is where wealth lives. A simple analogy. Think of your income like water flowing into a bucket. The middle class buys a bigger bucket every time income increases. The wealthy, though, they seal the leaks first. Doesn't matter how fast water flows in if it pours straight back out. Why this feels so hard? Here's the frustrating part. Middle class spending isn't stupid, it's socially rewarded. Bigger house equals success. New car equals progress. Vacations equals living life. Meanwhile, saving is invisible. Investing is boring. Saying no feels awkward. So people choose visible comfort over invisible security until one unexpected expense reminds them comfort isn't safety. The data nobody talks about. According to a Prudential study, the average American believes they need over $1.3 million to retire comfortably, but the median retirement savings for people aged 55 to 64 is under $200,000. That gap exists because people intend to save later, but later never arrives. What actually works? Actionable steps. Let's get practical. Here's what to do starting this month. Step 1. Reverse your money flow. Set up automatic transfers. 20% towards investments, before rent, before car payments, before discretionary spending. If you don't see it, you won't miss it. Step 2. Freeze lifestyle. Every raise the next 3 years, at least 50% goes to investments. Lifestyle upgrades capped intentionally. This alone changes everything. Step 4. Define enough. Write down what actually improves your life, what just looks good to others. Spend aggressively on the first, cut the second without guilt. Step 4. Build financial slack. Aim for 6 months emergency fund, low fixed expenses. Slack equals freedom. I've seen this play out again and again. 2 coworkers, same job, same salary. One upgrades every time income rises. The other locks in savings. 10 years later, one feels trapped. The other has options. Same income, different rule. Once savings become automatic, you stop needing motivation. You stop relying on willpower. And suddenly, raises feel powerful. Emergencies feel manageable. Work becomes optional, not mandatory. That's the difference between earning money and owning your future. Look, wealth isn't about deprivation, it's about control. And the middle class never learns this rule because no one teaches it early enough. But now you know. So the next time your income increases, don't ask, what can I upgrade? Ask, what can I protect? Because that decision, made consistently, is the difference between working forever and finally having a choice. If this video helped you see money differently, hit the like button. It really helps the channel. Subscribe if you want more honest conversations about money, psychology, and building real financial freedom. And tell me in the comments, what's one expense you're rethinking after watching this? I'll see you in the next one.